Were you born on the 4th of February or after the 4th of February in any of the following years? 1990, 1981, 1972, 1963, 1954, 1945 or 1936? If so, this energy prediction is for you. Now, my name's Frances Peterson from Healing Vibrations, and this energy prediction for 2020 is based on Chinese medicine and the ancient wisdom of reading the patterns of nature, particularly the 5 elements of nature. And when we look at this particular energy for you this year, we're looking at how it's going to influence you in regard to the cycle of time that you're currently in. Now, in Chinese medicine, they say we go through cycles of 9 years. So the first year of a 9-year cycle is always the beginning and about dreaming about what you want for that 9-year cycle. And that 9th year is the completion or the ending of that cycle. Now, where you are currently, you are in the 8th year of your 9-year cycle. And before I look at the actual energy that's going to be impacting you this year, I'd like to have a quick look at who you are and what makes you tick based on the patterns in your nature and based on the year that you were born. So when I look at you in accordance to Chinese medicine, I can see that you're quite an intuitive person. You're an innovative thinker, and you're a person who is naturally quite psychic and also has healing abilities within you that you may or may not have recognized so far. You're a person who is highly creative, and you really have the ability to tap into this inner wisdom that's just within you, but also that's something that you may have inherited through your ancestral line. So for you, it's really important for you always to rely on your intuition more than the logical way of thinking. So that's a little bit about you. So where you are in your cycle of time, and particularly this 8th year of your 9-year cycle, this is talking about the influence of the Earth year that you're currently in. Now, Earth is all about home, family, stability, and when we look at this Earth year or any particular Earth year in the 9-year cycle, it's really important for you not to move house in this current year, only because Earth doesn't move, and if you were to move, it impacts you on so many levels, and not just in the actual move itself, but it impacts your energy, and it also impacts the relationships around you. So if I can highly suggest that you don't move this year, it would really support you. Now, this year, in regard to this earth element, the image that we can look at or relate to in this particular earth year is the mountain. And inside this mountain, there's a cave. And this year, this is where you're meant to go into as you go and reevaluate your life until now. And this is quite an introspective time. It's a time for you to look at how life has unfolded for you, and you may look at the things that you've done and the choices you've made, and you may also wonder in what ways you don't feel fulfilled. It could be that you're thinking, why do I still need that I haven't? What do I still need that I haven't been getting? Or how am I not satisfied? These are questions you're meant to ask yourself this year. It's more or less a year that can be compared to having a spiritual retreat. So it's like you will have already felt this compelling need to withdraw a little bit from the people around you and from society, and just to pull inwards more. And that is rightfully so. You will feel that you just want to be a little bit more on your own. This year can be that you feel a little bit more frustrated with your life, or a little bit exasperated that why is life the way it is? I would have expected a lot more from it at this point. Meditation would be a really lovely thing for you to work with and develop this year, because as you can imagine, because you're going inside your cave, this is where deep inner transformation will unfold, and meditation is the tool that is powerful for you to be able to tap into that inner transformation and wisdom. This year will kind of stop you in your tracks a little bit, and it will really force you to look at what's not working and to look at ways of making adjustments. It's a deep processing year, and it can take more than a month. It can take months. So allow yourself to have that time to reflect inwards and to ponder and consider how life has unfolded and how you would like it to progress from here on in. And it's important for you to surrender to this process. It's very much like the caterpillar in the cocoon. So if you imagine a caterpillar in a cocoon, it can't be very comfortable being inside that cocoon. But be aware that while the caterpillar is there, it's growing and transforming. There's a lot of inner transformation going on. So that next year, as you move out of this energy of next year, you become transformed into a butterfly. And so that, so it's really important to do the inner work this year. It's also about allowing yourself to ponder about what you can do better. And what comes out of this year is also that you will have developed and gone through a really transformative process. And it can be an emotionally uncomfortable time this year, only because people outside of you that are not going through the same year will not quite understand what's going on for you. But it is important for you to allow them to know that you need this time for your inner reflection. Now, frustrations can come up in regard to relationships this year. Earth element is all about relationships. So you may look at, any difficulties that you've been experiencing or may experience this year in regard to family members, particularly females in your family. So it's a good time or a good year to work on your relationships. But this year you could also meet someone with whom you can have a really deep and long-lasting relationship. And just know that you may feel a little bit isolated in your cave year. And just be aware too that communication can be a little bit tricky this year too, because if you can imagine that you're inside this cave-like energy, so people cannot really hear you as well externally. And you can't hear them as well either. So just be aware miscommunications can certainly arise this year. It's not uncommon this year for travel plans or anything to do with traveling to go a little bit awry. It's important really for you to pay attention to all the details before you go anywhere, because you may decide to go on a trip and then you get to the airport and you think your plane is leaving in 2 hours' time when in fact it's already left, because you've somehow missed the details. This is another way that miscommunication can show up for you this year. So really pay attention to the details this year. Be aware that miscommunication can come up in your relationships and just generally in the way you're communicating. Triple check everything this year, details in regard to contracts and any other kind of important paperwork will be really important. And it's also very, it's easy for you to miss things this year. As I said, you're in the cave, transformation's going on, and so this can really influence you in regard to what's going on with you externally. But just be aware that this energy will start to subside by November, December of this year, and you really will start to feel the easing up and a sense of freedom coming into your field as you moved more towards the direction of this beautiful energy of the butterfly next year. So, but know that this is timely important for you to experience this particular transformative process that you are going through this year. Now the colour associated with this particular element for this year are the earth tones, so beiges, browns, yellows, soft pinks. I'm wearing a bit of a brown here in my scarf, so you can bring in more colours in the way of shirts or scarves, or any touches of brown or those earth tones into your wardrobe this year. That would be really powerful to support you this year. But also bringing more of those earth tones into your environment and into your decor, so putting a soft brown or beige colour cushion on the couch or on your bed, making sure you allow yourself to relax into really comfortable soft pillows and cushions and seats or couches this year will be really supportive of you. And also just allowing yourself to go inwards and feel the energy of this year and bringing those colours in. Now, I can give you far more detail and more clarity into what's happening for you this year in my Divine Blueprint reading, which is a 90-minute reading that I provide, which gives you so much more insight into who you are and what makes you tick. And what I do is I read these patterns of nature by reading your features of your face, and also reading the patterns of nature in your birth date, the day, the month and the year. And I also, we look at what emotions you're most likely to experience due to your patterns, and what your true gifts and talents are that will help you to step more into your true calling for this lifetime. And we also look at what core issues can come up for you throughout your life. And because relationships are important, we can always have a look and see what's going on for you in regard to relationships, but also help you understand and develop more of this beautiful intuitive nature that you, I can see, already innately have. So if that's of interest to you, by all means, please click on the link below this video. I'd love to hear from you and see how I can support you with this particular reading. And I hope that you really embrace the energy of this year and allow this transformative time to help you to develop and grow into the magnificent person that you are, which will help you develop more self-understanding and more self-compassion and love. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to speaking to you again very soon. Bye for now.